Hello? You have Vader? Listen, I don't know who you are. I don't have much money. But what I do have is a certain amount of movies. I can trade you some for Vader. Please, don't hurt him. He's a friend. You want my Terminator heads, my iRobot head, and my Amazing Spider-Man glow-in-the-dark Electro head? On second thought, you can keep Vader. He's a pain in the ass. And when he gets free, you're really going to be in for it. Good luck. Listen, I don't know who you are. I don't have much money. But what I do have is a certain amount of movies. I can trade you some for Vader. Please, don't hurt him. He's a friend. You want my Terminator heads, my iRobot head, and my Amazing Spider-Man glow-in-the-dark Electro head? On second thought, you can keep Vader. He's a pain in the ass. And when he gets free, you're really going to be in for it. Good luck. Hi. Hi. Welcome to, sorry about that voice, Trepacer Saturday Reviews. I went to see two movies as promised in my in-bed vlog I did this morning. I went to see, as promised, Taken 3 and Selma. I have movie tickets here. I'm going to talk about Taken 3 first, since that's the one I saw first. And there's the ticket stub. Taken 3. There it is. Starred the great Liam Neeson, Maggie Grace, Famke Janssen. Again, I was a big fan of the first movie. The second movie, not so much, because I thought it was, they had a weak villain, even though the plot of it was, or the basic plot to the movie was a decent idea, but the execution of it wasn't as great. So I wasn't a big fan of the second Taken 2. So, and after seeing the trailer for this one, I wanted to see, because it looked interesting. It looked like Liam Neeson was a kick ass, and it looked like they changed the formula. Somebody being taken, he's basically on the run. From, if you've seen the trailers, there's no big surprise. Like I said, seeing the trailer, the mother, gets killed, and he gets blamed for it. He's basically on the run, and he has to find out who really killed her, and of course protect the only one that he cares about, which is his daughter, Maggie Grace. Okay, and Taken 3 is an improvement over the second one. Definitely, in my opinion. The second one just, the villain was weak in it. That's what I mean. The premise was good, but the villain was weak in it. But this one, like I said, he's accused of murdering his ex-wife, and like you see in the trailer. So I don't think that's a big spoiler. They accuse him of killing his ex-wife, and he has to basically find out who did it and protect his daughter. Now, of course, adding Forrest Whitaker to the mix, lends the movie a bit of credibility. Okay, and Liam Neeson does what Liam Neeson does best. He's kick ass. Okay. I like this movie. It's definitely better than the second one. Not as good as the first one, though. The first one, I think, is in a class all its own. But this one is a decent movie. Like I said, you got good actors in it. Forrest Whitaker, of course, Liam Neeson, and he, like I say, he has to find out who did it. Now, this is not the best story-wise, and let me just say this: when a certain character shows up, you can kind of pretty much figure out the rest of the plot going forward. But Liam Neeson still makes it interesting to watch, and I still love that relationship he has with his daughter Maggie Grace. Even though, I guess in this movie they're trying to age her a little bit more by having her be in college, even though Maggie Grace is probably 30 years old, or maybe late 20s, whatever Maggie Grace's true age is. But that's kind of a funny thing that they had in the first. They tried to make Maggie Grace be really super young when she or infantize her, but. This movie, they got, I guess, going to college, but this movie, like I said, Liam Neeson has to, basically kick ass and find out who killed his wife, and like I said, Forrest Whitaker is the cop who's basically has to take him down, or at least catch him. while he's trying to prove his innocence and catch whoever really killed his wife. Now I don't want to reveal, but like I said, when a certain character shows up, played by a certain actor in this movie, which I don't want to spoil, you can pretty much figure out the plot. Not that it, there's some pretty still impressive, stunt work and stuff and shooting and stuff in this by Liam Neeson. So it's a good movie. It's PG-13, but it still has its fair share of car chases and explosions and Liam Neeson shooting and kicking ass and stuff. So it's I guess a great way to wind up the series. I don't know if they're gonna make another one. I guess never say never. And I wouldn't mind seeing Neeson in another one because Liam Neeson is Liam Neeson. Okay, and I love to see him kick ass. Okay, and like I said, this is a step up from the other movie, but not as good as the second one. I mean, the first one, and not the best. And like I said, it's kind of predictable. Especially with the and like I said, with these movies, you pretty much going just to see Liam Neeson kick ass. So don't expect any Academy Award-winning performances and stuff. But they keep it moving, and the action is nice in it. And like I said, I still love the relationship between Liam Neeson and his daughter and stuff. And but like I said, just forewarning, without spoiling it, when a certain actor shows up in the movie, you can pretty much figure out the rest of the plot from there. Anyway, but still didn't take away my enjoyment from the movie. I'm going to give Taken 3. I'm going to give it a on my scale of rating movies. I'm going to give it a 7. Okay, and that's mostly because of Liam Neeson. Okay, he makes everything have credibility, and plus putting Forrest Whitaker in it. And Forrest Whitaker is really good in it as well. Like I said, like I said, the plot you can pretty much figure out, and plus with that certain actor showing up in it, you can pretty much guess the rest of the plot. Anyway, but I still enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give Taken 3 a 7 out of 10. Definitely better than the second one. Not as good, nowhere as good as the first one, which is still the best to me. And if they did a fourth one, I'd go see it, even though I think they kind of, the way it ended, I guess they could do another one, but you never know. And I wouldn't mind because Liam Neeson is Liam Neeson. I'll see him do anything action-wise. He's just a fantastic guy, and this is the credibility. Okay, so that's my review of that one. Now, the other movie I saw was Selma, like I said. Let me see this. Show you the ticket. There you go. Selma. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and this is based on the chronicle of Martin Luther King and his campaign to get equal rights for blacks in the South, by having an epic march from Selma to Montgomery in Alabama in 1965. Now, of course, I was a baby, depending on exactly what month this took place in, and like I said, and this makes this movie, like I said, personally because I'm black, of course, I want to see it anyway, but it's American history as well, and a lot of these things I didn't know about. And I mean, I know it from school, of course, about Martin Luther King and stuff, and I Have a Dream and all that speech and everything else, but there's certain other factors that I guess they didn't teach in school and stuff. And this movie, but it concentrates on one particular event, Martin Luther King trying to secure voting rights for blacks in the South who were denied it, even though it's a constitution, and trying to get the president, LBJ in this case. Now I know there's controversy because they say the movie fudged the facts with as far as LBJ is concerned, and which makes me want to read more about, which I think I'm going to do, read about the actual, the civil rights, it makes you want to pick up a book. But let me just judge the movie as the movie. As far as the movie is concerned, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining. And the actor who plays Martin Luther King, David, I think it's a British actor, David Oyelowo. I think I might have butchered his last name. I know he's a British actor. And you also have Carmen Ejajo, who plays Coretta Scott's King. I thought they were fantastic together. And I thought, especially David playing Martin Luther King, I thought he was fantastic. He gave an air of of believability as the civil rights leader who preached nonviolence, and had to try to get this movement going and try to basically make history by forcing the country to give blacks that right that they were guaranteed in the Constitution to vote. And this this particular movie concentrates on that one incident, and it gives you a little of the backstory, of how King had to live with, the constant death threats, being thrown in jail and being spit at, and all the other stuff that you have to, that they had to go through, which is, and it's a powerful movie. And they had a lot of good supporting actors too that played famous figures like Andrew Young and John Lewis, famous civil rights figures and stuff. And I like this movie. I know, like I said, they fudged, I heard and read that they fudged a little, a lot of LBJ historians saying that they fudged the facts in the movies. Okay, so that's a whole other thing, which, I guess history will judge that. But I'm gonna have to judge the movie on itself. Okay, the movie on itself was to me was riveting, entertaining, and of course, certain parts made you angry, made me mad, made me mad. All the stuff that they had to go through, and it makes you appreciate all the stuff that they, the people that came before me had to go through to make sure we had, equal rights and the right to vote and have a voice in this country. And it really, I thought the movie was very well done, very well directed. And like I said, the fudging of the facts, that, I don't know why they had to do that. I don't think they, for dramatic purposes, at least put a disclaimer in front of the movie so that way people know that if you're going to fudge some of the facts, put a disclaimer in front of the, just so people know. Instead of, I would rather they do that than, I know sometimes, they change, they change things that actually happened in history, to make a movie more dramatic and stuff. But LBJ was a real person, so if there's a real record of him, doing certain things, I think that should be accurately portrayed. That's just my opinion about that. But other than that, like I said, I'm judging this movie on what it is. And what it is, I found it entertaining, riveting. Like I said, I think the actor who played Martin Luther King, I think he is going to get nominated for Best Actor because I think he was that good. And I love the actress too that played Coretta Scott King. I thought she was great too because she had to have a quiet strength and all the stuff that she had to put up with. They really and there's moments between the two of them together where they had to be brutally honest with each other, which are rough to watch. And also those incidents where they were marching and they had to put up with all the racist taunts, and there's a real disturbing scene on the bridge that just is really hard and brutal to watch. As a person, as African American, and as just a person, just brutal to watch. And I have a friend that he won't see any like civil rights movies or slave movies because he said all it does is makes him mad. So he, and it's true. The movie, that stuff makes you mad, but it's history. So I'd rather, watch it and know. And like I said, at least you learn from the history. I mean, and seeing it in action, actually in action, it's sometimes it's rough to take, but I think it's necessary, to educate people. And I think if more, especially young blacks, see movies like this, it makes maybe they'll get a more of an appreciation of what the people that came before them had to go through just to have basic, human rights. And maybe, we stop killing each other and killing others. And let me get off my soapbox for that. But the movie itself, I thought was riveting, and like I said, and it was entertaining to me, and it affected me as a human being and as a black man. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I thought the actor who played, again, Martin Luther King, I thought he was fantastic, and also a lot of the supporting plays. Now, Oprah Winfrey was in it. Now, I know she produced the movie, but, she really, Oprah's Oprah, so maybe, not put yourself in the movie because I see you in a movie and I see Oprah. Okay, it doesn't matter. You can't disappear into character. You're Oprah Winfrey. You're like a celebrity. So maybe not so much you don't have to be in a movie. Not that it deterred me from enjoying the movie or anything, but Oprah, when she shows up, it's Oprah. So But other than that, I enjoyed the movie. It's riveting. It'll make it white, black, or no matter what color you are. A lot of this movie is emotional and it will get to you. But I enjoyed it and I thought it was very well done. And history, aside, like I said, I think they should have put a disclaimer on it, especially if a lot of the stuff about LBJ wasn't true. I think they should have put a disclaimer in front of the movie so people know that if that part wasn't true. Like I said, I'm not up on the history of that, which I want to read about, and I should learn that history, and so I can know what the true facts are. But like I said, they should have put a disclaimer if that part of the story in the movie isn't true. like I said, sometimes I realize people change things for dramatic reasons and stuff to make a movie more dramatic. But if that's certain things that are patently false, I think you definitely should put a disclaimer on it so people know. Okay, especially like I said, because you're dealing with real people. Okay, but other than that, I enjoyed this movie and I thought it was very well done. And I definitely think this movie will get nominated for. I think it should get nominated for a couple Academy Awards, maybe Best Picture and maybe Best Actor definitely, and Best Supporting Actress for the lady who played his Coretta Scott King. And I enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend you go see it because it's history and it's part of this country. So I definitely recommend go see it. Anyway, that's my reviews. Again, Selma, riveting, great performance by the lead actor who played Martin Luther King, the British actor. I'm gonna say his name again because I don't want to butcher it, but he was fantastic. And also Taken 3, better than the second one for sure. Not as nowhere as near as good as the first one. And like I said, once that certain actor shows up in the movie, you're gonna say you can pretty much predict what's gonna happen. But Liam Neeson still keeps it interesting and fun to watch. And plus, Forrest Whitaker was a nice addition to the cast as well. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think of my reviews. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long and take care.